vertice. Now, I guess after this process, you probably would want to, so I guess we're just gonna leave it that way. It doesn't hard to have those faces down there. So hit Shift, Control, or Alt, and then right click. You should be able to just select those edges. So it's simple as just hitting E and then just hitting enter and then just scaling it up. As you can see, we actually just basically kind of scaled up the circle that we have been extruded. Alright, going back to top view and wireframe view by hitting Z. I tell you guys that as well. Sorry. Scale it down according to the reference image. Now bear in mind, with every modeling tutorial, with every modeling, with every model, there we go, your reference image will not always be taken at an orthographic perspective, because, this model is at an orthographic perspective already, but this image is not, because if it was, you wouldn't be seeing these edges right there, like those edges, these edges, and yeah, you wouldn't be seeing those. So try to model your object according to the shape of this, like not according to every little detail. So after resizing it according to the size here, just extrude it and then just align it right there, I guess. Or you could move it a bit back here if you wanted to, but I'm gonna leave it back there. Scale this down, right? Hit E to extrude, scale it down according to the size once more, and just move it this way by hitting G and X on the X-axis. And extrude once more using the same process, all the way up there, and just extrude it more by going right up there. And as you can see, this does kind of change size, so scale it down once more according to the reference image, and you should be fine. Now if you come here, you see we have a big hole. Just select these entire edges and just hit F. Alright. Go to the top view again, and wireframe view, hitting Z. You might get to the trigger guard really soon here. Sorry, that's just kind of inconsistent of me. We're going to do the same thing with this, but instead of scaling it up, we're going to scale it down. So E to extrude, enter, S to scale it down according to the size of this stock or pipe. I won't call it a stock really. And just extrude it, hitting E and X along the X-axis, then until you go right there. Alright, then hit E to extrude again, and enter, and then scale up. Now move this at this direction, extrude it according to the reference image, then extrude it once more, scale it down. And this part is going to get quite tricky. But one thing when it comes to modeling is you have to separate your elements. So as you can see, this is basically a circle, but it's the same thing as this. It's just basically a circular object on top of or attached to a non-circular object. Sorry about that. So select these edges if they weren't selected already. Hit E to extrude and just extrude it all the way. Stop right there. Hit E to extrude, then S to scale up, and then S and then X to scale and move along this axis. Or sorry, E and X to extrude it and then move along this axis. And just fill up this face by hitting F, symbols while having the edges selected, and that's that. So as you can see, we already have this element of the flamethrower already made. Now we'll get into detail later, but right now we're just making the generic shape of it. Alright, I guess now here comes kind of the complex segment of this. So what you want to do is, you can basically do this two ways. If you want to remain consistent, you could just copy and paste this entire segment, or you could just start from scratch. But in this instance, I might just copy and paste. So by hitting B with port, and thus having to activate port select, this hit the left button, or yeah, I guess, depends on your keyboard, and drag it and make sure that this square covers all vertices, and make sure all selected. Shift D, and then I guess enter, and then hit G and X to move it along this axis. And then I guess this is a bit messed up, so hit G and just move it like there. There we go. Now we have to extrude this face, but since there's no face up there, we'll just have to come back to vertex select, or yeah, vertex select, back to top view, select the top of the grip, E to extrude, just hit enter or escape, and then scale it up, and then just extrude it, and then hit Y to go on the vertical axis, align it to right there, and or select these images to accommodate the design. Alright. Now this is probably we might just kind of have to do some cheating on this one, so we're just gonna not completely go through this. We're not gonna completely make sure it's all exact. We're just gonna get the basic generic shape of it. I'm not gonna get too much into detail. So just hit E to extrude, and then Y, and then just move it, and then just align it according to the reference image, which you might not see it, but it's up there, but it's because the screws can't give me a hint where it's at. So then zoom in by pressing Control and then scrolling up or down. I'm on a Mac, so the control scheme is probably different. Select these faces, and then hit E to extrude and X on the X-axis, and there you go. Oh, whoops. We'll take care of that later. So then it's the same thing with these edges. Select them, E to extrude, and just move them along this axis. Now, recall from what I said earlier about defining your width and your length. So what we're going to have to do here is pretty strange, but so far according to this image, this is far wider than these faces. So you could scale it up like that, but yet again, it's kind of it's more of a mechanical model. So mechanical models hardly do that. So coming back up here, top view, select these faces. Oh, this is going to be difficult. There we go. So make sure these two faces are selected. You don't want any of these other faces selected, because that would mess up the topology of your model. So go up to actually remain on this side. Hit E to extrude, and then S, and then Z. And you should be able to scale it up. And there you go. You have that covered. I'm guessing we're just gonna have to move these faces and just move them and align them right there. We'll probably clean up the model after we're done modeling, I suppose. Or make a generic shape of it, sorry. Now, of course, you have these handles, right? Now, for you can tell, wait, sorry, let me go back here. So, one thing during modeling is you want to get every detail in. In this instance, you should probably take this into consideration. Like, are you going to need this detail? Do you want to include it? You want to exclude it? Like, what is that you want to do? So, well, let me just adjust one thing. So basically, we're going to probably end up making these anyway. So yeah. So select these faces right here. Hold up. Sorry. Actually, scratch that. So before we get started, we're add an edge loop right here and align it to this edge. Oh, sorry, don't do that. Select, go to your face select mode, go to face select mode, hit C and just select these edges. So then, after you have those edges selected, actually, hold up, I am sorry about this, add another edge loop right on this edge, so it fits these edges, and also, yeah, so then select these faces, sorry, actually that was improper, so select these faces, and then just extrude it, according to the model. Hit X so it only goes in the horizontal axis. So as you can see, we probably did extrude. If you have an unsolicited face or edges here, so to delete this, you can just, oh actually, yeah, my bad, I did mess something up. Alright, so just extrude it, undo that by hitting Command Z, go back to your top view, or actually don't go back to your top view, sorry for keep messing up. Scale this down. You're gonna have to kind of estimate the width of things. And before you move on, go to wireframe mode by hitting Z. Select that face, that face. You might want to zoom in closer, but if you have some experience with this, you should be fine. Hit X and then faces. Alright, now going back to solid frame view, hit Z and just select these edges. And I'll go back to top view. Alright. Actually, sorry, I don't want to select that edge. Alright, so hit extrude again, but this time hit escape. And then deselect this edge by doing your usual select method, but make sure you hold shift and then left click. So that's a deselect a vertex or a face, or vertex, sorry. Hit G and X and then move it according to the reference image. Actually, just move it this way. So then deselect this face by doing your usual select method, but instead of hitting left click, make sure you're holding down shift at the same time. So deselect that face, move it, align these faces, deselect it, move it, deselect it, move it. There you go, now you have these elements.